Hello and welcome to Laguna Seca, where we start a brand new season of the iRacing Israel League. This time, season 4 in the F3 cars. We've seen the drivers in the Skip Barber machines, in the Porsche GT4s, in the Porsche Cup cars. Now they take on the Dallara F3 cars here at one of the very popular circuits on iRacing. One of the base content circuits. Everyone has it. Laguna Seca. It's 3.57 kilometers long, and it should make for some good racing here today. My name's Dean Baird, and alongside me today is Jim Hodgson with Mark Tranter up in the production booth. So I've got a brand new team with me this season, and it should be a good one. Jim, you're new to the iRacing Israel League, of course, but F3 cars at Laguna Seca should always produce good racing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, first of all, just let me say I'm thrilled to be here, of course. Love this track, iconic racing track. And yeah, I think we'll definitely see a whole lot of action, a good looking field, big crew, seeing some gorgeous sort of retro inspired liveries on track at the moment. But yeah, the only thing about Laguna Seca that would worry me is maybe not too many opportunities to pass. And of course, when these open wheel cars come together and touch their open wheels, that does tend to present a problem.
Oh dear. And as we talk about problems, Dorian Tabashnik finding the limit and passing it, heading out of the corkscrew. And I'm pretty sure that will be his qualifying session over. Yes, it will. Unfortunately.
Yeah,
And we're
classic.
now looking at Chachasvili, and he's just finishing his third lap actually. Drivers only get 3 laps. Actually, no, they get 2 laps. I was right. I had to double check there, but Chachasvili just making his second lap there, and that's good enough for second on the grid. So good start from him this season.
Do have to be careful with the accelerator before that car settles at the bottom of the corkscrew, don't you?
Absolutely, and just looking at the timing screen at the bottom, that looked like a lot of purple sectors for Chachasvili in that lap. He was pretty quick on that last lap, but I think he had a bit of a mistake in the second sector, unfortunately, which is why he wasn't quite enough to tip our reigning champion, Shalva Kotelshvili, in the number 1 car. And he's currently sitting nicely on pole position. Only a few cars still out on track. One of them, the league organizer, Mimeh Shalem, in the 777 machine. He's currently sitting in 9th, and this is his second flying lap that he is allowed. So this is a lap that he'll want to get right, try and improve a little bit. Tires are heating up. They should be as good as they'll get in this qualifying session at the moment. Let's see as he heads into the corkscrew, hard on the brakes, through the left. Where's the right? There it is. And then he heads down through the final couple of corners. This is probably my favorite corner on the circuit. Very easy to get wrong though. Braking on the curb, sending the car through these corners. Finding the limit at the moment is a minute. And through the final corner now, hard on the power, down towards the line. Let's see, is that going to be good enough to improve? And it is. It puts him up into 5th. And that was a 1 minute 16.89.
Yeah, pretty cracking lap. A lot of greens on his sectors there. I think only one of his sectors did he not achieve a green, so good result.
And there is a car without a rear wing. That's John Chico. And in practice, I believe John was in 10th place. We've seen him to be fairly quick in the final couple of rounds of last season. He had terrible luck last season, but in the last couple of rounds he was doing pretty well. And he was doing well in practice as well, but qualifying, not doing too well at all.
Well, Well, looks like we're on board here with Ventura. Oh, loses the rear of the car in the middle of the corkscrew there, but somehow manages to keep it on the racetrack. Always positive for your qualifying results, as qualifying is just about to tick over an end. We will see him stop on track there. Do have a few cars still on track. Here's Chico. That looks like turn 9 there. Unless I'm very much mistaken, it does happen through 10. And here we go to the final corner. Sets it up nicely. Let's see if he's going to be able to better his time. I don't think he will, just based on the sectors below. Does get a very good final sector there, a green in the final sector, but otherwise probably not the performance he'd like to have seen. Well, here are your results from qualifying. I understand that Shalva is known as Shalva. I've been coached by Dane that that's how you guys call him. So that looks like he is in P1. And well done to him. A pretty good performance there to have P1. And in the second row, it's Ruben Chachashvili. And in P3, it's Alan Day, followed by Dorian Tabachnik, Amir Meshulam, Reem Gross, Madi Bashar there in P7, followed by Michael Sherling, Peter Green, Nir Kop M, Oren Sadeh, and Adam Levitt in P12. Followed, of course, by Ariel Dabush, Yehuda Ben Yosef, Sar Dekel, Dekel Nar, Alan Zeltzer, Yossi Gabe, Edan Sher, Ori Lahav, Ron Cohen, Elid Weintraub, Ram Atak, and Tomer Ventura in P24. In P25, we have John Chico, followed by Leon Portman, Moshe Pinchevsky, David Diag, Reelid Zur, Eric Ulster, Haggai Farran, Ido Isaac, Ryan Kieselstein, Gil Epstein, Michael Wasserman, Gilad Heskia in P36. Last, but far from least, Yaroslav Malkov in P37. Looking forward to a fantastic race, a gorgeous grid there, loving all of that color out there on track. And it does look like we're going to have a standing start here, waiting for a few cars to finish gridding up.
Absolutely, and just to mention, the driver starting in last position will be starting from the pit lane, and that is, if I can just get up on my screen, Yaroslav Malkov, and he has got a penalty that he incurred at the end of last season. But we are ready to race then. A huge field of cars here at the start of season 4. 5 red lights, and we go green for the first time this season. 24 laps of racing at Laguna Seca ahead of us, and it was a good start from Chachashvili. He's right on the back of Shalva as they head in towards turn number 1, and Shalva fends him off. And on day, he's got Tabashnik to contend with. They're side by side all throughout the back of the field, but it looks like for the most part everyone got through cleanly.
Yeah, that was a fantastic start. A lot of cars side by side there, and these are pretty weird, pretty wide cars, so taking up a lot of room on track. Great driving out there to keep it all clean.
Absolutely, it's mostly single file at the moment. A couple of moves he made. Oh dear, and that's Michael Sherling that has turned around. Drivers doing pretty well to avoid him, and who is that? Reem Gross potentially. Oh, there's been contact.
Oh dear.
And that looks like Dekel Nar as well. Yeah, I'm not too sure who exactly that was, but I think it was Dekel Nar and Rom Itak are dropping down the order. Ariel de Bush as well. So I think those drivers were having a bit of an issue there out of the corkscrew. Now once you go off at the corkscrew, if you avoid the wall, you end up straight on the racing line, and there's not much either party can do about the contact that follows.
Yeah, that was a slight incident there coming down the corkscrew. Looked like the Ferrari livery car lost the front of the car, and that caused him to get into the other car. But this is the 777 car of Michelin. It's a
He's
weird.
found himself on the wall.
Yeah. I don't think, I'm not sure if he quite hit the wall there, but an interesting yaw angle relative to the track. Oh, very close to contact between the 17 and 22 machines there at the top of the corkscrew. Lucky that they managed to keep that clean. 17 machine was able to pull away, it looks like.
Yeah, and that's Yossi Gabai. Keeping up his tradition of driving a bright green car. He's got some red on it this time though, and he has made his way down into the pit lane. He's been given a penalty.
Oh dear.
So race control deciding he had some fault in the incident that happened, one of the incidents that happened on lap 1.
Well, Sherling seems to be going well. He's got his car righted and he's on his way down the track. Looks like Kvichavili at the front, at the head of the field, has got his gap up to a second. And he and Tabachnik might have a little bit of room on day, but not too much. A slightly bigger gap back to Bashar.
And let's see, on board with Oram Sade. There's the corkscrew, oh dear.
Looks like Weintraub and Zeltzer might have had an issue. Oh,
Yeah,
Zeltzer's just stopped in the pits.
Yeah, Zeltzer just gone through to take a tow, so it's right now. Unfortunately for those two. Oh dear. Corkscrew claiming many casualties. Today, don't reverse onto the track there. That's not a good idea. Let's see what happened. Yeah. Oh, that was so unfortunate. How did was that the number 5 of David Diag? I think it was. Number 5, awesome job to avoid that incident there. I'd love to see that again from David Diag's point of view, and that is a very broken F3 machine. Very, very broken indeed. Here is Michael Wasserman in the 69 machine, currently sitting in 14th position, 21 places up from where he started on the grid just 3 laps ago. So, very good start to the race for him, but he has got Hagai Farhan, one of the drivers that we know to be very, very quick in the iRacing Israel League, race winner of course. In a previous season, Shalva sets a fast lap of the race. There was a big lock-up behind. I think that might have been David Diag. And now Farhan down the inside. He looked for it. The door was closed by Wasserman now, heading through to the final section of the circuit. Just one corner to go. Farhan, he kind of wants to get past at this point so he can set his eyes up ahead. Another part of the circuit. And now we can go down to the inside, to the left-hand side, squeezed right up to the wall by Wasserman. Farhan down the inside into the Andretti hairpin, and he makes that move very cleanly indeed. Now Wasserman's got David Diag to look out for behind. Adam Levitt. What has happened to Adam Levitt? He's off the circuit. Just ahead of these drivers here. What has happened to Adam? I think they're about to catch up to him. He's still off the circuit. Oh dear, big crash. New damage model being put through its paces as we head to a replay of Adam Levitt. Oh, almost an identical incident. Just turns across, I believe it was a lapped car. And yeah, unfortunately spun around and into the wall he goes. Not too much damage potentially for his car, so I don't think he'll be... Oh dear, there's a spin in the background. Oh, that's a very bad place to have someone spinning in the background. Car 23 has been given a drive-through penalty. So that would have been for one of the incidents. Car 23, not on the timing tower at the moment, but that is... I don't see a car 23.
It's Isaac, Ido Isaac.
Ido Isaac, okay. There it is, I see it now on the timing screen. Yeah, he's been given responsibility for that incident, and he will get a penalty. Ferran on the back of Gil Epstein. Epstein cuts him off. No sir, you will not overtake me here. You gotta work a bit harder than that. Ferran trying to get a good exit now. Gil Epstein defends the inside. This is not really an overtaking opportunity through the kink. So we ride on board with Haggai now. Oh, he's gone a bit wide. He's done very well to slow that car down in time. Wow. As Alon Day sets the fastest lap of the race, so 1:15.5. That's faster than the pole position time.
Yeah, times are really coming down.
Absolutely, and we will not be having a pit stop in the race. The driver started on the fuel that they will end the race on. So unlike some of the races that we saw, they trialed it last season, no pit stops today, or no regular pit stops. There might be pit stops to repair damage or serve penalties, but no pit stops for fuel required today. Alon Day sitting in third at the moment in the 24. And Alon Day recently just took his third NASCAR Euro Whelen Series Championship and surpassed the all-time win record and set his own record in the Euro NASCAR Series for the most number of wins by a single driver. So he's been doing pretty well in the real world, and now he gets to join us back in the iRacing Israel League once again. He took most of the last season off to go and race in Europe. He's back getting past some lap drivers, and he is right back onto the podium, which is where we used to see him back in Season 2.
A lot of really aggressive driving out there on track just between these top three places. I'm seeing a lot of purple sectors now between Shalva, Tabachnik, and Day. They're all really getting it. Pichavilli turns in his fastest lap of the race. That's at 1:15.7, I believe.
Yeah, very fast lap times being set here. These three drivers not separated by much. Tabachnik just 7 tenths behind the race leader and reigning champion Shalva Kotelshvili. And Alon Day just over a second behind them. Just lurking in the background, waiting for mistakes on one of those. Michael Sherling, we saw him spinning earlier on in the race, lap 1 I believe it was. Oh, and he's touched the grass. How has he not lost control of the car there? That was a bit risky from him. And then number 200, also race winner. And he sends it down the inside of Orem Sade. That was a great move. And he moves up into 6th. He's now got Nirkop Mizrahi in his sights. And to try and get himself up into the top 5. That's Nirkop Mizrahi 3 seconds ahead.
That was a little bit of a scary moment there. I was concerned that those cars were going to have a coming together. We've certainly seen it a couple times in the race so far, but great driving out there. Managed to leave racing room for one another and keep it clean. Another fastest lap of the race by Tabachnik. 1:15.4.
Yep, they're pushing each other. Tabachnik sets a purple lap, and that tells Shalva that he needs to get a move on. That gap between the two drivers came down by around about a 10th within the last lap. And now Dorian within half a second of Shalva. Dorian, multiple race winner again, also took a season off last season. Oh, Shalva, that was a bit of bottoming out of the car. He got a wheel down in the gravel, and now that gap, 0.3 of a second, that is well within passing range if you can get into the draft, that's Dorian. To make a move potentially into the Andretti hairpin. So we could be seeing a move for the lead or a battle for the lead really brewing up here. Is all Dorian a little bit wide into that corner, and that's really held up his line a bit. Meanwhile, Alon Day, he's gained half a second in the last lap on these two.
Yeah, Day is really closing that gap. I think we're going to see a really good 3-car battle. We're not even halfway through this race on time, anyway, or on laps for that matter, as we see Day take the fastest lap of the race. Of 1:15.1.
I don't think it'll be too long before we see these drivers heading into the 1:14s, which would be very impressive since pole position was a 1:16. So these drivers really pushing it here.
Yeah.
As the tyres heat up. Fairly cool track temperature actually. I believe it's only 23 degrees Celsius. Which is very cool for Laguna Seca. And here is a lot of drivers separated by not very much at all. Reem Gross in the 49 looking down the inside of Hagai Ferran. Not able to make the move stick. But that is a massive train of cars there.
Yeah, it is. I think Tabachnik had a little look there to see if he could maybe turn that lap traffic into an opportunity, as we'll have the same thing here. Oh, a little lock up there heading into the Andretti hairpin. Turn 2 is a little terrifying.
Yeah, that's Reem Gross. He went down the inside of Hagai Ferran. Now he's got the outside line, and Mechelem has decided he wants to join in with the fun. He's down the inside of Gross. I'm not sure if Gross knew he was there, but he definitely didn't drive as though he knew there was a car alongside him. He has eyes firmly ahead of him on Hagai Ferran. Gillespie trying to make a breakaway. And now they're going side by side, are they? No, Reem Gross pulls out at the last second. Reem Gross, another race winner. Race winner on his debut, actually. Back at Road Atlanta. There's a car crabbing in the background. 22
no.
Bon Cohen. Ferran is off. Oh, and there's been more contact behind. Mechelem climbs up the cockpit of the Bush. I believe it was the Bush in the 50. Yes, it was. And yet more contact in the corkscrew. Really, once something happens in front of you, there's not really anywhere to go, is there?
No, there's really not. Especially not at the speeds that these cars can do.
Oh, unfortunate. Just a bit of a punt into the back of Hagai Ferran. He ends up in the gravel. And he watches as chaos ensues just in front of him. And
there's another car off there at the bottom.
Yeah, there is, and I'm not too sure who that was. There was a second. There would look like there was a second incident there, just behind Gross and Ferran. Ferran able to continue in the race, although he is down in 15th and quite far behind the next cars. And Mechelem, despite climbing up the cockpit of the Bush, still managed to continue on, and he's currently sitting in 13th. Race control, car 49 has been given a drive-through penalty. That's Reem Gross, and I'm not really surprised there. Arad the Bush involved in more contact. That's with Malkov.
Well, it is a very damaged-looking car, Dane.
Absolutely. Let's see. Oh dear. The Bush trying to get past. Oh dear. And that was. Yeah, Malkov just losing the car in front, potentially some contact into the corner. Reem Gross is off the circuit. He's still off the circuit. Where is Reem Gross? Oh!
Maybe serving his penalty.
Alonday's got past Dorian Tabachnik. As Shalva's gone off the circuit, Alonday half a second off the lead. As I believe, Ruben Cecchishvili has just found himself in some kind of trouble.
Wow. Look at those difference between those, just the last lap times between Day and Kitelishvili. Excuse me. Kitelishvili.
Let's see what happened to Ruben Cecchishvili. Oh, he just dipped the tyre into the gravel on the inside of the corkscrew, and that sent him around. A little bit of a touch to the wall, but it's fine. No damage seems to be on his car at all. But I would love to see Alonday getting past Tabachnik, because Tabachnik lost about 2 seconds on that lap. So yeah, Alonday up into second, of course, then. And he is chasing down Shalva. Half a second between the drivers, well, the previous 2 champions. Shalva, Season 3 champion, and Alon, Season 2 champion.
Day really hanging the rear of the car out there.
And Alon probably knows this setup better than anyone on circuit right now, because it's a fixed setup race, and the setup was made by the driver of that number 24 machine. Let's see, this is Alon getting past Dorian Tabachnik. Now there's some lap traffic up ahead. That is a very awkward place to be indeed. Dorian goes off the circuit. Oh, and Alon, oh wow.
Lucky to avoid an incident there.
I really want to see an onboard of that. from Alon's perspective. Wow. How has he managed to avoid the 2 cars in front of him? That was insane. Are we getting that?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Wow. I think he was I think Day was a little bit fortunate there. I think he saw that incident developing ahead. But yeah, some great driving.
Absolutely, through the corkscrew they go then. Oh, and that's Tabashnik around. Alon Day almost around as well. But Tabashnik not quite as lucky. Driver's really throwing these machines around. Shalva having to fend off some lap traffic, and now Alon is finding the number 13 of Isaac in front of him. And he gets past with no issues. Around about 0.6 of a second is the gap at the moment. Sorry, the number 13, it wasn't Ido Isaac, it was Toma Ventura. Oh, Moshin Pachevsky looking to the inside of Dallara. And I believe just behind them is a lapped car. Or a lapping car. But they are not fighting for position. But Moshin Pachevsky slightly losing Dallara. Dallara building up a bit of a gap.
It's Portman. Thank you, Mark Tranter. Well done, sir.
And yeah, Portman getting out of the way for the Bush, who is behind Pinchevsky. Pinchevsky sitting behind Dallara. 0.3 of a second is the gap. As this is potentially a big send down the inside for the 95. Wow, Yehuda Ben Yosef did not see that one coming. Well, my tech a little bit desperate there. And yeah, making a big lump down the inside, a little bit loose as well there. Oh, that's very close indeed. Well, my tech maybe caught out a little bit by Yehuda Ben Yosef's line through some of these corners. That was very close a couple of times to contact between those 2 drivers.
Yeah, it really was. I wonder if he's suffering from tires or missing some aero or something.
Oh, the Bush, I think he just got past Moshe Pachevsky. And there's a car off in the background is Yehuda Ben Yosef in the number 10. He has somehow ended up off the circuit on the outside of the Andretti hairpin. That's turns 1 and 2. And now they're going side by side, are we? With the number 37 of Dallara, who has now got Ariel de Bush right alongside. Are they going to try and go side by side too? They can guess they are just about make it. Oh, I think de Bush has lost it. He did. He caught it though. Credit to him. He's now got the outside line into the corkscrew and he managed to keep the position. So good driving from him.
Oh, look at the side pods bouncing around.
Oh dear! Someone coming out of the pits has knocked all sorts of cones and carbon fiber flying all over the place, but Alon Day into the lead of the race. Here we are then, we're going to get a replay, and it was into turn 1 potentially. Alon Day, oh dear, Shalva getting all sorts of sideways out of the final corner, and that made Alon Day's job very easy indeed. And now we're going to see, yeah, cones being knocked all over the place by the driver coming out of the pits, which I initially thought was cars having contact on the main straight, but it wasn't. Alon Day moves up into the lead then, and car 95, that is Ron Itek, being given a drive-through penalty for an incident.
Maybe that was him on the pit exit.
There he is. Make his way past Dallara. He'll have to come down into the pit lane within the next couple of laps. Shalva's off the circuit. And Shalva was coming out to the final corner and is losing a lot of time to Alon Day. So that last corner proving a bit tricky for our reigning champion at the moment. He's lost, maybe the tyres are not quite where they used to be. As you can see, the time's creeping back up into the 116s.
Yeah, maybe his rears have gone off and he can't quite get the power down.
Definitely possible. We're nearing the end of the race, 7 laps to go. And that was Ruben Checheveli making his way past, was that Moshe Pinchevsky? I think it was. Yes, it was. Moshe Pinchevsky. Just behind, couple drivers coming out of the pit lane. That's Rom Itek coming out of the pit lane.
Nara's cars.
Oh!
Bits are just bouncing all over the place.
Ah, yeah, they are. His engine cover.
Yeah. Oh no.
Giving him some extra drag.
Cohen's gone around there, I think.
Yep. Cohen dropping down the timing tower, but Deco Nar. Yeah, the rear of his car not fastened very securely at all.
The driver's left side.
Oh, he's hit. Oh dear. And now there is damage, yeah, to the side pod as well. Yeah, he's just turned himself around on those curbs. That is right on the exit of the corner. Luckily, I think the drivers have enough time to spot that incident before contact is made. But I think for Decal Nara, a pit stop is definitely needed there.
Yeah, that engine cover's got to be acting as a parachute, doesn't it? The way it's sticking up.
Black and orange meatball flag, potentially, for that car. We'll see if he heads down to the pit lane or not. Now, this is Nikot Mizrahi. And he is currently doing very well up in 6th. But he does have Aram Sade just behind. And those two will be fighting it out, as we've seen many times over the last few months, these two battling it out. And it looks like Aram Sade might just be able to catch up and then continue that battle. Hagai Farhan off circuit as well, but that was fairly short-lived. I think it might have just been a slight running wide for Hagai. But the race, dare I say it, calming down a little bit.
I'm surprised that you would dare
to
say such
3 wide. As I say that, 3 wide. Of course it is. Of course it is. 3 wide, as I say that. Michael Sherling went off track as well. Car 5 has been given a drive-through penalty. Oh, almost bump drafting in F3 cars. That doesn't end well. Big send down the inside for Itek. A little bit off circuit for him. Good move into the corkscrew. And he moves himself up into 21st, having taken his drive-through penalty already. So he's moving back up through the field.
Number 5 car is David Diag.
Alon Day had a 1-second lead over Shalva. Shalva's just gone off the circuit again. And that was out of the final corner again. Shalva really struggling in that final corner.
Does seem to be. That's 3 times now we've seen him had, at least a little bobble there, if not, nearly losing the car. He's had some great saves, but I'm sure he'd rather not have to save the car every lap. It's certainly losing time for him, isn't it? His gap now to Day is coming on for a second.
Deconar. That is a parachute on the back of the car, like you said. Because his straight line speed is nowhere. Maybe it helps him a little bit in the braking sense. Whatever works for him. They do have 2 fast repairs available to them, the drivers, so I'm not too sure why he would stay out. I guess there are only a couple of laps left, but I'm surprised he doesn't have some kind of black and orange meatball flag that he has to serve. Must repair the car. But yeah, that's an odd one. 4 laps to go. As these drivers cross the line now. Oh, they're going 3 wide in towards turn 1, and Yuda Ben Yosef dropping back. Adam Levitt and Decal Nar going side by side. Decal Nar has been victorious. That's not Decal Nar, that's Peter Green. I'm talking rubbish. As Alan Day, well, we thought the tyres were going, but Alan Day has just set the fast lap of the race, so 1:15.135. Oh, that was close. Oh, that's that's going to be a big hit. Has he saved it? He has. What a save. Yehuda Ben Yosef with an absolutely awesome save. Was it Yehuda Ben Yosef? Yes, it was. What?
Wow. I mean, just looking at the velocity with which he left the track, I would have said, no way.
I thought for sure that was going to be a contact with the wall. That's an awesome save right there from Yehuda Ben Yosef. Wow. And Gilad Heskia battling away with Yossi Gabay. And Dorian Tabachnik is back on the pace. A 1:15.097, new fastest lap of the race. They've only got 2 laps to go. Is there a lot of damage to Gilad Heskia's car? Because his steering wheel seemed to be slightly tilted as he headed towards turn number 1. But no, I think it was just his oversteer coping mechanism there. And
you think that Day is... I'm just wondering if you think Day has managed his tires better and that's what's giving him an advantage here late in the race?
Quite possibly. I mean, Shalv and Dorian, they were pushing each other right in the early stage of the race. Alan Day was just hanging back. So it's definitely possible.
Well, he's certainly doing good work. That number 24 car, I mean, he's, closed up the gap to leaders and fell away, and now he's the leader himself and appears to be scampering away into the distance.
Absolutely. I believe he won 8 races in season 2. It was either 6 or 8. He won, I think, 5 in a row at one point. He absolutely dominated half of the season of season 2, Alan Day. So we know he's quick, but he's proving that again. We haven't really seen him fighting at the top of the fields for many months, almost 6 months actually. Was the last time we saw Alan Day battling for the lead of one of these races. So he's just coming back and showing us that he is still definitely one of the drivers to beat in this series as he takes the white flag. And he is 40 seconds away from taking the checkered flag. As Nikot Masrahi and Oren Sade batting it out on the final lap. But our eyes turn to this man. Season 2 champion. Took a whole almost 4 or 5 months out of the series. And on his return to the competitive races, Alan Day takes the checkered flag to win round number 1 of season 4 of the iRacing Israel League here at Laguna Seca. Shalva Kotelshvili reigning champion. Second is his position. Oh, almost contact at the end there, wow. And Dorian Tabachnik finishes in 3rd. Michael Sherling, after spinning it at the start of the race, done an awesome job to make it back up through the field. He finishes in 4th, closely followed by Madi Bakar in 5th. And as we wait for the rest of the drivers to make their way across the line, only the top 10 finished on the lead lap, interestingly. So lots of drivers getting involved in incidents.
Yeah, well, also, fast cars, short lap. But yeah, I think incidents certainly took their toll. We got 3 drivers out there. More than that.
Yeah, lots of drivers with damage on their cars, as we've got Gil Epstein just sitting in the middle of the road. It's not Gil Epstein. It is Gil Epstein. And Madi Bakar just making his way through. Just waiting for Peter Green to finish. There is Peter Green to finish. Oh, we're waiting for a couple more drivers still to finish the race. Gil Epstein still sitting in the middle of the circuit, the entry of turn 1. And that is it. All the drivers have finished. And Alon Day making his way to the start-finish line, and he is going to do some donuts, is he? That was just a burnout for a second. There we go, donuts. Oh, what a brilliant camera. As we see the champion, Alon Day, with his first race win in the iRacing Israel League in a very, very long time. John Chico also pretty happy with his 8th position.
Doesn't have to worry about saving his power plant or transmission for the next race, does he?
Absolutely not. So he can do as many burnouts as he likes. Here then our confirmation of the race results. Alon Day, of course, taking the win by just under 2 seconds. Shavik Delshli, reigning champion, in 2nd place. Dorian Tabashnik in 3rd. Then you got to go back 20 seconds to find Michael Sherling in 4th. Matty Picard just a second behind in 5th. Then Nikop Mizrahi, Oren Sadi, John Chico, Sardekel, and Peter Green rounding out the top 10, and the drivers finishing on the lead lap. Then 1 lap down. Loads of drivers in that category. Amir Meshlam, Gilad Heskir, Yossi Gabai, Tagai Faran, Ariel Debush, Gil Epstein, Ruven Chachashvili, Alan Zeltzer, Rom Itek, Adam Levitt, and Moshe Pinchevsky, all finishing a lap down. Yehuda Ben Yosef in 22nd was 2 laps down, as was Ori Lahav, Aiden Sher, Toma Ventura, Dekal Na, and Yaroslav Malkov. Then some of the drivers who didn't finish the race within 2 laps. That's Leon Portman, Rand Kesselstein, then Leon Portman, Ron Cohen, David Dieg, Eric Alster, Michael Wasserman, Reem Gross, Ida Isaac, Elad Weinraub, and really Sir in 37th. Massive grid here at Laguna Seca. I think that might be a league record for the most number of drivers in a race. It's great to see this league really boosting in popularity. I believe we were told just before the race, Jim, that we've got 45 drivers signed up for the league. So we can expect to see a lot more big grids like that one.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. And we've got some drivers waiting for an interview. So let's see, who have we got here? Well, I think there's only one place that we can start, and that is with our race winner, Alon Day. So let's get him in then for a quick word then. Alon, welcome back to the interview room, and for the first time in a long time, up on the top step of the podium in the Israel League.
Yeah, no more G29. Back to my normal sim back in Israel after the season in Europe. Yeah, good to be back. Good to be the first one to pick to the interview. It means I won.
Yeah, well, you got very used to that back in season 2, and even in the earlier stages of season 3 as well. But yeah, it's been a very long time since we've been talking to you as the race winner, and we saw you do the victory donuts at the end there. As yeah, I've just been sent a GIF by the race steward, who I won't name, but it's a GIF of someone in a costume running through a field with explosions all behind, and I think that pretty much sums up a lot of drivers' races today. That was pretty chaotic out there.
Yeah, I mean, look at the grid. I think we are 37 or 36 drivers, which is remarkable. And we knew that the Formula 3 is gonna be pretty tough. It really requires a lot of practice, especially in the first couple laps where everything is still a big mess. And still good to see that all the top drivers are there, and we're still fighting hard, really hard. Same as I came back to this championship. You can see also Dorian came back, and yeah, just the level now is really, really high, really high. I was hoping for mistakes by both of them because it was almost impossible to follow them in the dirt air from the slipstream. But Yeah, fortunately they both made a mistake, and I managed to pass both of them. So good race overall. Nice to see such a big grip. It was tough with the traffic, obviously, but still nice to see so many drivers with us.
Absolutely, 37 cars on the grid at the start. Well, 36. We had one driver starting from the pit lane, but 37 cars on track at the start of the race. I'm pretty sure that's a new league record. I don't think we've seen that many cars in
Yeah,
a race.
I'm pretty sure about that. And you remember when we just started with a GT4? I mean, I think it's amazing. It really makes me happy to see that, and I think, yeah, I really have. We all need to thank Amir Mashulam for putting such a lot of effort in this championship. And you can see that it's working, definitely working.
Absolutely, and Alon, congrats on the win. Once again, when is which circuit is the next race? Do you know?
I think it's the Nürburgring, the GP one.
A lot of fun. Well, good luck for the next round. And before we let you go, is there anyone you would like to give a shout out to?
No, no, not really. Yeah, no, not really. But thank you guys, and thanks again for commentating and broadcasting the race. Let's hope Nürburgring will be even better than this.
Absolutely. Well, Alon, thanks so much for joining us, and yeah, see you soon.
Thank you very much. See you soon.
Well, it was good to hear from Alon there, and Jim. We've got a lot of other drivers waiting for a chat. Who do you want to talk to next?
Well, a tough call, but I think I'll take Shalva.
Well, let's get him in for a chat then. Let's get him into the interview room then.
Shalva, excuse me, Shalva, welcome. We're just looking at your car, driving around on track. Great race out there. How are you feeling?
Great. Hello, Jim. A new voice. Nice to hear you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, great league. I'm pretty excited about it. So, tell us, walk us through your race quickly, if you could. How was it? How did it go for you?
Well, obviously, I somehow started on pole position. I wasn't expecting it at all. Like, I really don't know what happened, but I said,
You're
oh,
being a little modest, don't you think?
yeah. I said, okay, well, pole position, cool. Yeah, let's. And I was feeling in control, to be honest, like the whole race. And all it took was just one tiny little mistake, and Alon just jumped on me like a tiger or something. Just took the position straight away, and that was it. He just ran away. He managed the traffic much better than I did. I was kind of struggling with it, to be honest. And second place, it is, I guess.
Well, it's maybe not quite the amount of success that you're used to coming back to the series as reigning champion from previously, but Date did seem to have some pace. I mean, he was closing on you and Tabachnik, and then seemed to kind of you seem to be kind of losing the rears, have a little bit of trouble there in turn 11. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's completely accurate. And both Alon and Dorian were faster than me. And to be honest, the only reason I managed to hold them behind so long because the dirty air, just managing the dirty air with the car is
Mm.
quite difficult. And I knew it. I knew that fact, and I knew if I just managed to stay clean, I could hold on to the lead. And you saw once I lost the position to Alon, I immediately dropped back like 2 seconds because the dirty air is so difficult to manage.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you guys put on a great show. Just speaking as a fan and a spectator, maybe not exactly the result you would like to see, but P2 is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take it, and I'll try to come back stronger next time.
Absolutely. Anybody you'd like to send a shout out to before we get out of your hair?
Thanks to Alon for this wonderful setup. Like I got up to pace extremely quick. Thanks to Dorian for teaching us how to drive this car, and thanks to Amir for hosting this league once again.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. Great result out there. Congratulations on your race. That is your P2 finisher, Shalva.
Thank you.
Well, just unfortunately, just cut him off there at the end there, unfortunately for Shalva. But yeah, it was good to hear from him. Finished second, not bad at all. Let's see, who else have we got? Do we have Dorian? Yes, we do. have Dorian. Let's get Dorian in for a chat then. He finished obviously in 3rd position, and we've got him in the interview now then. Dorian, can you hear us?
Yes. Hey guys.
Well, first of all, welcome back. And
Thank you.
after pretty much the entirety of 2 iRacing series out of the league, it's great to have you back and straight back onto the podium for yourself.
Yeah, it was an intense race, wasn't it? I managed to make a couple moves on the first lap, got myself into 2nd place, and then some unfortunate occurrences with the back markers caused me to slow really down on the kink and cost me 2nd. And from that point, I was my heart rate was a little too much. I couldn't focus, so I spun the car, kind of ruined the race. But 3rd place, not gonna complain about that. Good race for all.
Absolutely, and it was good to see you battling it out with Shalva and Alon after so long with yourself and Alon out of the series. But Shalva, he hasn't been having it easy, but now he's got his main rivals back. I can't help but think that Shalva's thinking to himself, "Oh dear, I'm gonna have to work just a little bit harder now in the
Well,
F3 car."
we all do. The league has really improved as a whole. Reuven has been doing great work. He qualified 3rd. There's a bunch of guys that have really improved in comparison to last season, the one before that. So I came back to a much stronger league, and it's going to be a lot of fun this season.
Absolutely, the league has definitely grown a lot, and has have improved a lot as well. I can see on my timing screen the drivers' I rating, and I think every single person has increased that quite considerably in the last couple of months, which is great to see. All the drivers improving. But
I
Dorian, I believe Shalva was just telling us that you were helping everyone get used to the F3 car.
Well, I did my best. I work with Alon to create the setup, and I do track guides on my channel, and give people tips. People that didn't drive the car at all, I sat around with them. But that's everyone in the league. That's what we're all about. We fight very hard on a Monday, but when we have time, we always help each other out.
Absolutely, it's one of the great things about the iRacing Israel League, and it's great to have you back, Dorian. Congrats on the 3rd place. And I can't wait to see you again. But before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, Amir is doing a great job organizing everything as usual. You guys are doing a great job with the broadcast. Thank you guys so much for this. That's it.
Oh, thank you as well for putting on such a great show for us. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you soon.
All right, cheers. Bye bye.
It was good to hear from Dorian there, and I believe we've got time for a couple more. So, Jim, take your pick. I think you've got John Chico and Michael Sherling waiting.
Let's talk to. God, tough choice because I want to ask Chico about his finish in his resulting donuts, but also, I also want to talk to Sherling. Let me have Sherling.
Well, let's get Michael Sherling up into the interview room then, and he joins us now.
Mr. Sherling, can you hear us?
Hey guys.
Thank you so much for joining us. Great finish out there in P4. You got to be proud of that, but I think you might have run into some trouble.
Yeah, this before the corner before the back straight. I think it's called kink. I don't know. I was heading to this corner, was praying not to hit this curb. Yeah, it was like it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Going automatically to the curb, and I was trying to be super careful, but like massive spin. Wow! And by luck, no one ran into me. And let's say the rest of the race was very interesting. I overtook a lot of cars. I think people didn't fight too much. Everyone were very careful. So it was nice to fight my way back. Also, the back markers were most of them very good, very considering, let's say. Yeah, and I was chasing at the end Muddy, I think. And I thought already that I might not catch him, but he did some mistake, so I was able to take the 4th place. yeah, considering what happened, I'm pretty happy. Yeah, could have been much worse than this with this car.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's funny to me to hear you say that you felt like the race was relatively calm. From our perspective, it seemed like just explosions all over the place.
Yeah, if I said calm, I'm sorry. It wasn't calm.
No, I think
Yeah,
I made that part up.
yeah, it was very a lot of action. It was a lot of fun, but I was scared all the race. You know, each move I did, I thought like it's 50-50. You know, small touch with someone, the race is over. So you always think about it. I hope we'll get used to this car after a few races. So yeah.
Well, I have no doubt about it. And that, look, I mean, you're acting like you're, I don't know, I mean, a P4 finish is, like I said before, nothing to sneeze at. I mean, I'm impressed. Uh, you guys certainly put on a great show out there. It was a great race. Anybody you'd like to send a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, to all the drivers that attended. We have a lot of people now. It's very good. Everyone tried a lot to make this race considerably good, and I think it was shown like this. It could have been much worse than this. And of course, to you guys, I'm going to watch the video now. It will be a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, a lot of fun from my perspective. Thank you so much. That's Michael Sherling, your P4 finisher.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, it was great to hear from him. And yeah, that just about wraps up the broadcast then. It's been an action-packed, I think it's safe to say, first round of the iRacing Israel League. And yeah, we've had a fantastic round here at Laguna Seca. It's been a great one. I've been told the next round is at the Nürburgring GP circuit. Cannot wait for that. I've been named bed alongside Jim Hodgson and Mark Tranter. And we'll see you next time in the iRacing Israel League back at the same time for the Nürburgring round. See you then.